What's good? Welcome to First String Podcast. On today's episode of First String Podcast, we have William Bill Harper from the who played Army basketball. He's going to join us today to talk NBA. He's going to give us a little insight into the NBA winners and losers of free agency here. We have Dump Truck Don on board today to deliver our question of the month, and I hope you guys are ready for that. We'll also talk a little bit about WBC, the WBC and Garcia being suspended there. We'll rep your squad, of course, as we always do with little Commanders, little Ravens, not a little Ravens, little Commanders, little Mystics, a little bit of everything from our favorite squads. We're going to give you that good news. So we got a really jam-packed show. I hope y'all are ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
First String Podcast. Yeah. Too Danny. Dre on the beat. You know. Yeah. What's your favorite squad? Tell me who you going with. First String Podcast. Yeah, we keep it lit. We got the latest updates. We don't pump fake. Like, comment, share. We don't care. Feel free to hate. We got great guests. Join us. You should chime in. Houdini on the intro for the time being. Lady A, representing Washington. Pick Washington, everything Washington. Aunt Mo coming out of Dallas, you know the business. Said, them Georgia Bulldogs ain't quitting. Yeah, if you ain't watching sports, you ain't living. About to get my mattress Mac on, about to bet $1 million. Bet $1 million. Let's talk about it. We all grown and cool, we can talk about it. Before we hit the news, we gon' talk about it. Oh, you wanna bet? Let's pop a bottle, yeah.
Welcome back to First String Podcast. Do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. But the most important part of this thing is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First String Podcast. All right, everybody's here. Well, nope, that's not true. Let's get with who's here right now. Sliding in like you always do. Coming in hot, my main man said. How are you, said?
Hot in fish grease, my brother. Hot in fish grease.
Hey, I see you got the bucket hat on today. So look, you slid on in there, just drop the hat on. So I see you trying to do your thing before Dump Truck Don, but you wasn't here early, so we got to show you Don's brim a little later. All right. So listen, you know HR is always on the scene. HR showed up extra early and he swore it was going to be some fines handed out today, but we're going to try to keep him down. Hello, Lady A.
Hello. Sid, were you going fishing or something? What's going on?
The ball head is out now. The ball head is out.
My baby girl bought that for me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, nothing like that's a DC thing. We'll do a bucket hat.
We'll do a bucket hat in a minute. It's still good to go. All right. The man of the hour is Dump Truck Don. He's here for his question of the month. Don, how are you?
Pretty good, but I don't do no bucket hats. I'm sorry, that's not my style.
You gotta turn this thing sideways.
That's why.
Turn it sideways for us.
You ain't from the South, bro.
From the South.
Yeah.
Look, if I turn my camera to the sideways like this is what it looks like. It's upside down.
Oh my God! You gotta learn how
that
to
ain't gonna work, dude.
You gotta rotate it.
Hold on,
all right. We're going to get right in with our guy, Bill Harp from the United States Army. Bill, how are you?
Good. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing good, Bill. Man. Thank you for joining us. This is Bill's first time on the podcast. Let's say hello to everybody that's in the chat right now. We got Bruce Glass in the chat coming in first as always. What's good, Bruce?
Hey, Bruce.
Dawn is in the chat and on the screen right now.
Right.
Droop said, what's up? Of course, he's here. He's
Droop.
saying hello to everybody. A long time no see. Hawk TV's in the building right here.
Hey.
What's up, Hawk?
Jazz 24 is in the building. What's up, Pick?
Jesse.
How are you?
Yeah.
Jesse, my bad. Jesse 24 is in the building, man. I'm gonna clean these glasses one day. You know I'll butcher names.
You slaughter everybody's name.
Everybody. It's hey, just to let you know. And
Be in the chat and he'll slaughter your name.
I will. All right. Dirty Clips is here in the building as well. Okay. Talking a little Charlotte Hornets here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads us right into what we coming to talk to Bill about here. Bill does his thing. He follows college basketball. He follows the NBA. So, Bill, free agency is up. The draft is done. What do you got for us on the NBA?
Well, I'll start out by saying, ever since they changed it with the apron rules for the tack luxury, it's not going to be the same. There's not going to be any like big blockbuster, the big three super teams anymore. But I do want to lead up with the one that I think will be kind of the next big three, which is actually surprising to me, is the 76ers. By getting Paul George, I know he's older, going over there, the 76ers, I think it actually starts closing that gap in the West, or excuse me, in the East. That definitely starts getting them to be contenders, where instead of dropping out. But that all kind of depends on whether Embiid can stay healthy. So I think that's definitely a very interesting thing that happened. Sticking kind of in the East, definitely liked what the Knicks did as well. So by bringing in Mikal Bridges, another Villanova guy, it seems like the Knicks are just Villanova part two. So definitely I think they're doing some cool stuff. So yeah.
All right. So the defending champs, the Boston Celtics, they seem to return a lot of everybody, right?
Everyone.
Have they separated themselves, or has the gap, like I think you had alluded to it a little bit, the gap has gotten closer with them now?
Well, so it's funny. I kind of had some winners and losers, and my number one winner was the Celtics. They're bringing everyone back. That team, and I don't know if you guys have done kind of a post-mortem on this season at all, but I think start to finish, the Celtics were a buzzsaw. We saw it. I grew up a Mavericks fan. I knew what we were getting into in the finals. I'm glad we won one. I'll put it that way. So them coming back and re-signing everyone, they're, again, the team to beat. They're going to go for a second two-peat.
Okay. Say it, you in there?
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I think the Mavericks are bringing in Klay Thompson. I'm not a Maverick fan. Let me start there first. I'm a Hawk fan. I think that them bringing in Klay Thompson, because there were a lot of open shots missed. Had those shots been contested and missed, I would be completely on top of what you were saying. But giving a proven guy open shots, repeatedly open shots, with Luka and Kyrie still there, makes them just as dangerous as any other team at this point in the league.
I love the Klay Thompson pick. Them getting Klay Thompson and bringing him in, I love it. But the problem I see with, if we're talking specifically Mavericks to Celtics, the problem that we're talking about is not 1 and 2, but we're talking about guy 3 through 8. And that's where the Celtics are the better team against any team that you match up, especially this year. And I can argue almost next year as well. They got a complete 6 to 8 team roster that they can throw into anyone. Now, the Mavericks, I love it. I did hear read a lot about people saying, they don't want to bring in a 34, 35-year-old guy. But one, he's a 4-time champion. He's got a lot of experience. Yes, he's had, a pretty bad Achilles and ACL injury not too long ago, but seems like he's doing good. I think he's going to be an awesome pickup for the Mavericks. But I don't know if it's enough to get over the hump with the Celtics.
Lydia?
I mean, truthfully, I didn't hear anything crazy. Say it was like I completely disagree, but I mean, we talked about it on Tuesday. I do feel that was a great pick. Kudos to the Mavs for that. I'm excited to see them. And I even called it. I said I think that a matchup between the Mavs and the Spurs at any point in time would be a really good, because they're making some moves too. So I really think that, I'm excited to see in general, but I do feel, I agree, the Mavs were, we got new news, but I agree the Mavs did.
What you think about that, Sid? What you think about that?
Yeah, I was about to say, what's going on here, Sid?
It's the Hawks.
It's Atlanta, huh?
What do you want me to say? It's the Hawks.
It's an Atlanta thing, huh?
The Hawks. I'm gonna say this again since Ann's not here. The Hawks drafted Luka. What more do I need to say?
The Charlotte Hornets drafted Kobe. So what's your point?
They traded him. That's my point.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
They're not keeping really good players. Is his point. And I agree with you, Sid. You guys fumble the bag consistently.
Not as much as the Wizards.
Well, let's talk about the West. Okay, so last year we saw last playoffs we saw the Timberwolves take an amazing leap. Right, they made it to the conference finals when they lost to the Dallas Mavericks, but they also took out some buzzsaws and the Phoenix Suns, and then they didn't run into the Denver Nuggets. And the West was literally like the best conference last year, and Boston won the championship. What do you think happened in the West to close the gap between the Denver Nuggets, the Oklahoma Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Mavs? What was the big moves out West that made things may shift a little bit out there?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll probably put a little bit of a nail into the Mavericks. So I love what they did. I really do. I just don't think that's enough, to be honest with you. Definitely think they way overachieved this year. I think we can all. I think anyone who said the Mavs were going to the finals this year, I would call you crazy. I hate to be that way, but I didn't see it. Now going to, I think who is now the perennial favorite every year is the Nuggets, and I think actually the Nuggets fumbled this year as well by letting KCP go to the Magic, which I think is going to be big for the Magic and help them. I mean, they made the playoffs last year, and now they just add another piece. But I think what's going to end up happening is down the line, we're talking, December, January timeframe. I think we're going to look at the Nuggets and say, oh, they seem to be that one player off. And it's all because Kroenke didn't want to pay him. And so he let him go. And now the Magic picked them up, and they're going to get a good piece. Minnesota, I think, they're kind of staying steady. They know what they got in hand. Ant's the man. I think we all can agree he's going to be one of the next future players that are going to be the all-stars and the superstars going forward. Another one I was really curious and really liked what they did was OKC. I do know the Mavericks took care of them, but they went out and got Alex Caruso from the Bulls, and I'm trying to remember exactly the guy's name, but I believe it's Hartenstein as an interior guy. Which where did the Mavericks beat them? It was inside last year. I mean, obviously you got Kai and Luka who tore them apart, but inside Lively and Gafford crushed them. So they went and got bigger. They added defense. So I'm actually really impressed with what Oklahoma City did this year. I think they're going to take a step forward, even more so.
Okay. Yep.
Go ahead.
So you're muted, hon. Look. You're muted.
I think the Minnesota team needs at least one more player, maybe two. They're close. They have to be in a position where they don't have to use Ant-Man as constantly as they did this year to try to depend on him to come in late. They did well until they got into the postseason. They did well when they went up against Denver, but they had a point where you just didn't know if it wasn't Ant-Man, you just didn't know where they were going to get points from, and that's what killed them down, against the Mavericks. And that's why I was so surprised to see the Mavericks struggle against Boston the way they did with the missed shots. It was a real surprise for me. Because I thought that, those two teams battling back and forth the way they did would have prepared them to play against another team. Right. The Lakers are going to be a mystery this year. I think they're constructed, what they're doing, it's going to be a mystery. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, you're investing in a 39-year-old player. Now, he might arguably be, one of the greatest of all time, or one or two, but you're investing in him. You have a coach. I love JJ Redick. I think he is going to be a great coach.
Right.
I just don't know if it's right now. And then you spend your second round draft pick to get the guy's son to keep him entertained, to keep him there longer. They're going to be tight.
Did you hear the best part about the Bronny James joint? They started summer league play today. He averaged his college average.
Yeah, 4 points.
4 points.
How many minutes did you play?
Like 21 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what they just invest into. So I struggle with the Lakers. I think you're putting too much equity in almost a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't blame LeBron for all that. That's Rob Pelinka.
We have to be honest, though. He's not the average 40-year-old. We'll give him that. However,
he's better than Jordan at 40.
Jordan, I don't think. Well, first of all, he had many years of professional basketball under his belt versus Jordan. Jordan's career. So there is a difference there. But I will say that LeBron has had injuries and things like that. So even if he wasn't 40, you have to look at his health in general, and that does come into play. That's something they need to consider. But I think that right now they're trying to go with that nostalgia effect versus we want to win. So we'll see how that goes. And I agree, it's going to be a mystery this year.
Yeah,
So this.
I think you. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, so I really think with the new NBA free agency and how they've levied the luxury tax going forward, more than anything, it's crushed the two LA teams and the Warriors. Those are the three that suffered the most. And if you kind of look at it, especially this year, it hit them hard. Clippers, and I think one of the biggest moves is going to be Paul George going to 76ers. I really do think that's going to have the biggest impact. And losing that big three, investing in Kawhi, who's playing 50 to 75% of the games, and investing in a guy like James Harden who can't get out of the first round except for 1 year or 2 years. I think it's a misstep.
Yeah.
So the question here from Dirty Clips is: are the Kings on the verge of landing DeMar DeRozan, getting him out of Chicago, wasting that talent there?
That's another team that I have notes on as a loser. So they already lost Caruso, who I thought was an awesome player for them. Now they're talking about a fire sale on DeMar, and also with a few other guys. So they're kind of cleaning house. I really thought the Caruso for Giddey trade was not only did you give up picks, but then you also traded down. I think we can all say that Caruso is such a better player and better asset than Giddey is. Especially, there's off the court stuff too that people make fun of him for. I won't mention that, but if you want to look at it, go ahead. Yeah. So with that, I mean, I just think it seems to me that finally, the Chicago's always said, "Oh yeah, we're playing for the play-in so that we can, their ownership can be like, yeah, we're making the playoffs every year." But realistically, I think they finally hit that point where fans are had enough, and they're going to have to start rebuilding. And I think that's what they're finally doing.
All right. Well, we're getting close to that time. Well, we actually have Bill here. He's on vacation. He's given us time. So thanks, Ms. Harp, for allowing us to get Bill on for the first time. But we are about to let you go and get back to your vacation. But we can't do that without getting to the question of the month. So right now we got questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
All right, Don, you got the question of the month. Bill, you're answering it first, followed by the rest of us. Let's go.
I got theme music now? Okay. Thanks. Our question of the month is 4 athletes that you wish you could have seen in their prime.
So
and the only caveat, can I finish, Toothpick?
My bad, go for it.
The caveat is you can only name 2 players from the same sport. So it's like a Mount Rushmore type thing. Even though unlike Mount Rushmore, we got 4 players, 4 athletes that you wish you could have seen in their prime, but you can only name 2 from the same sport. Bill, you on the clock.
Let's go, Bill.
Awesome. I start off with the big O, Oscar Robertson. So there's a lot of controversy around who he was playing. Was it a bunch of plumbers and all this stuff? I want to know. That's a guy I wish I could have seen really in his prime. When you mentioned 2, the other one was Michael Jordan. So I caught his 90s years. I wish I could have caught the late 80s years as well. Yep. So I could have gotten a full picture because I caught all of Kobe. I'm catching LeBron. So I think, I think he's the GOAT, but I would love to see that. The other one I have is, and you might laugh, Tiger Woods. So I just picked up golf during COVID. So even though I was around for it, I never paid attention to it. So I wish I could have really gone in there, and then adding that, if we can do it too for another one, would been Big Phil. So I would love to see Phil's career, so I could see it all too. So those are my 4. I guess my golf speaking today, but
Okay.
Cool.
You're
You
on
sort of broke
vacation time. We get it.
the rule, but yeah, we get it. We get it. So listen, I really, really do appreciate you coming in. I told you I have you on for about 20 minutes. We got you at that 20-minute mark right now. Thank you so much, Bill. We will have you back with all your great knowledge of the NBA. And so we look forward to talking to you a little bit more during those good seasons. And by the way, say it was in the Army as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate your service.
And I was in the
Thank
Air
you.
Force.
Yeah.
I was in the Army, so
Yeah.
we won't talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm Navy. So yeah, we definitely gonna have to get that Army Navy thing going too. So
Oh, absolutely.
thank you, Bill. We appreciate your time, man. Go
Yes,
enjoy
sir.
the
Like to see
family.
you.
Well,
Hey,
Yes, a
thank
lot,
y'all.
Bill.
Appreciate it.
All right. So Lady A, are you ready to answer the question of the month?
sure.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
So,
Let me see.
what'd you say? Say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I it came in hot today, so I gotta get this together.
Oh, okay. So you
You gotta
don't
get
have
it
your
together.
list. That's okay. Don't try to steal mine. Okay.
Okay.
So I have my four, and they're all from different sports. And then I have a honorable mention. Um, and that honorable mention is from a separate sport as well. So I
Okay.
have Ali. I love boxing. I really wish that I could have been around during that time frame. Clearly I am not old enough to have been. Um, Also, I love track and field. Jesse Owens. Um, I really wish that I could have been there for that. That's an amazing. Yes, as my cousin Ciozi said, those are two good people as well. But then I love baseball, and my son knows I have an obsession with certain players. Jackie Robinson. Not just as a player, but as a figure, as a person that was pushed through. That's a historic figure, as a historic man. And then also as an individual, his personality to go
Mm-hmm.
through the things that he went through and to handle it the way that he handled it was amazing. And then Pele. So if you are a soccer person,
Soccer.
Yeah.
football.
Football.
You
Football.
know um his time frame. I want to say he ended in like what 74. So I'm not old enough to be there for his prime either. My honorable mention is Wilt, like my cousin said. So shout out, yes, CLZ. We're on the same path for Wilt, but that's my honorable mention, my fifth person. But yeah, I
Okay,
tried to spread the love around for the sport.
say it. If you're not ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I can go ahead, man. I'm pretty diverse
Okay.
with what I like here. First of all, similar to what you said, Tiger. I would have liked to actually seen it in person. You know,
Hmm.
him play in person, especially when he was at the height of his career. Hank Aaron.
Yes.
I would have liked to see Hank Aaron play.
Yeah.
Um, I really would have. I really would have to see him do what he did in his career in Atlanta was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jackie Jonah Kersey.
Let's go.
Uh, Lady had wheels. the,
That's a
the
good one.
lady had wheels. Let's not put anything past it. I'm also gonna stay with track and field. Michael Johnson. When he broke out them,
Okay.
when he broke out them gold shoes.
Yeah.
When he broke out them gold shoes, and you see him coming out that curve, him standing, him with the
Wait,
red.
but said you missed Michael Johnson? You didn't catch on to that one?
No. I was an arm.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Wasn't he on steroids?
stuff.
No,
And-
you're
and-
thinking Ben Johnson.
I
And
swear.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
last
all
but
right.
not least, Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Ooh.
Okay.
He ended his career with Atlanta. The man caught everything.
You're so biased.
Hey,
It's all right.
Surprised he put 1962 Georgia Bulldogs in there.
because he liked 72, 73 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he was playing, I was young when he was playing.
Yeah.
But we got the end. We got the end of the best of his career ended in Atlanta. Where he still put up numbers. It just we had bad teams.
Listen,
let's not be
And
wrong.
yes, Jesse, that was a good. That's a good.
that list is crazy right here. Sammy Ball, Bill Russell, Willie Mays, and Roger Maris. Come on, man. That is an incredible list right
That's
there. I
good. That's a good
appreciate that.
list.
That is a really, really good list right there. So here I go with my list right here. Number one is Bobby Mitchell.
Okay.
Played for the Washington Redskins. I wish I had
Uh-huh.
seen what he had done. I can only look at his stats and go back and talk to Doc, and Doc tells me how good this guy is. Um, Number two is absolutely Willie Mays. Uh, Doc was on the radio today talking about that San Francisco baseball
Giants.
team. Yeah, and telling me how not telling me, but telling everybody how amazing they were, and the players that they had on that squad and everything like that.
Mhm.
So that's crazy. This next person has made my list the last 3 months. Earl Campbell. I just sent y'all a video, right? I sent y'all a video. Was it the Earl Campbell video that I sent? No, it wasn't. It was a Shady McCoy. But I got to send you guys the Earl Campbell video where he just goes. The guy was like, "Nitro, nitro." Well, he goes, and the Shady McCoy, he goes, "Crazy feet." With Earl Campbell, the dude says something about human hit stick and just runs people over. So I really wanted to see that violence that Earl ran with. Of course, we all know what happened to his body after what he did in the NFL,
Right.
but I really want to see him. And then this person right here made my list from track and field and said you just saw her on the sprinter. Is FloJo.
Yeah.
Her
I
record
knew you
just
were gonna
fell
say that.
last year.
Yeah, I knew somebody was gonna say it.
Her record just fell last year, and I'm a track and field dude, but at this point in time, when I was running and going through when I was younger, we didn't have the access that we do now, like where we could see everything that's happening all over the world. So
Mhm.
we didn't get to see her rise to the Olympics. We only got to see her shine on that Olympic stage.
Right.
But I wish I was able to follow her career a little bit closer. So that's why I have FloJo on this, and we lost her sadly
Yeah.
some years ago as well. Don, you're up. Who's on your list?
Okay, number one, Wilt Chamberlain, four-time NBA MVP, 13-time All-Star, seven times NBA All First Team, seven-time scoring champ, 11-time rebounding champ. Only person with 100-point game.
Right.
Five-time rebounding champ. 11 times, but he had 55 rebounds in one game. 55 in one game. Shorty, my God. Only player to average in NBA history averaged 30 and 20. He did it seven times. Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain. That's my one. Two, Satchel Paige. To hear the stories of Satchel Paige is like when he threw a baseball, it looked like a marble crossing the plate. Are you serious? A marble. Whew, that fast. He would have infielders sit down behind him as he struck out everybody. Just like, hey, just have a seat, Shawty. Just sit down right there. I got this. Dude was like that, Joe. I mean, like his career record was 232 and 89, which is a 723 winning percentage. He's the first black pitcher in the American League for the Cleveland Indians at 42 years old. And when he retired, he was 59. 59. Satchel Paige. That's my two. Three, Gale Sayers. Shawty, based on, you could just go on one game, December 12th, 1965, against the San Francisco 49ers. He scored 6 touchdowns on this team. They got crushed. But these 6 touchdowns, Shawty, you talking about he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Hold up, was it 2? He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 pass and 1 punt, right? He had the highest net average in a single game with 19.76. Basically, had 336 yards on 16 touches. 336 yards on 16 touches. Yeah, 9 carries, 113 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 receptions for 89 yards, and an 80-yard touchdown pass reception. 5 punts, 135, and an 85-yard touchdown for a punt return. That dude was phenomenal. Gale Sayers, I wish I could have seen that guy. You just show me the entirety of that game, and I think I may be good. He also scored 22 touchdowns in his rookie season. Yeah, his rookie season. And was it 12 or 14 games, 22 touchdowns. All right. And last but not least, you see I'm wearing this instead of a fedora today, right? So you know who this is about, right?
Yep.
This is about my man Roberto Clemente. This is a Roberto Clemente jersey. I've never purchased anybody's baseball jersey. I had to look and search and find Roberto's because this dude was special. I mean, 15-time All-Star, NL MVP in 66, World Series MVP in 71, 12 consecutive gold gloves, 4-time National League batting champ. He had a career average of batting at 317, 3,000 hits, 240 home runs, and 1,305 RBIs. He had 166 career triples, 4,492 total bases in 2,433 games. The reason he is so special to me is not only because he was a great baseball player, but
Facts.
the way he did as a man. Like
Yep.
he died on December 31st of 72, right after the World Series, leaving like I think Puerto Rico, going to Nicaragua because they had an earthquake. He was carrying supplies and people and the plane went down. So he was inducted into the Hall of Fame the same off season. That's the man, Joe. That's my man.
Hey, and this is why Don comes back every month to bring just what he did, and that's why he goes last, is because he's going to educate you about the topic that he gives us for the month. And we really, really do appreciate this, Don. You bring all nothing but facts, and that was a heck of a list. I think everybody had great lists. Jesse, Bill, Lady A said my list was pretty cool. Don, you killed it again. You killed it again. I look forward to what our guests say this month about their list. Man,
where's the bald-headed Cowboy fan?
Yeah.
Well, he's off today. He's off.
He has
His birthday or something?
No, he has no. His birthday's next weekend. But he had a family obligation to take care of today, so he's off today. He's off today, so we will get his list on Tuesday, of course.
And where my running back at?
And your running back is off as well. So
all right,
let's get to the roundabout. As Ant would tell us, the roundabout does annoy people, but it does control traffic. It helps with the flow of traffic. So let's get to the traffic. All right. The WBC expelled Garcia for comments that he made. Word's been going around that Garcia has had some mental problems, and they need to get him help, and he's spiraling a little bit. And this is coming off of a loss about a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that he lost his last fight? And he's just been making all kinds of racial comments and things like that. Mental health is nothing to play with, but seeing Ryan get help the help that he may need so that he can be a better person inside the ring and out of the ring, I definitely respect the WBC for what they're doing. But it's camp as well for letting it be known that this guy needs help. What are y'all comments about Ryan?
Would you like for me to go ahead and give my thoughts first?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, you might want to do that and make sure you get the fine button together.
Okay. So let me say this. Unfortunately, a lot of people use mental health as an excuse. And this really looks like that. I'm sorry. I understand there are people who go through things, but this is unacceptable. The things that were said, unacceptable. He should have been expelled. I commend the WBC for expelling him and, taking that action against him. I don't know why my camera just went out, but can you guys still hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
But with that said, I'm not believing what I'm hearing. I'm not. I don't know, what's going on with this young man, but
Hmm.
stop it. A lot of people say things, they regret it, and then they say, oh, just like when it comes to crimes and things like that, when people used to try to they would plead insanity, as an excuse to get away with bad behavior. I see bad behavior. Um,
Right.
Talking about the things that he was talking about, you know, I think that was already there. I really think that was already there. So I'm trying to be politically correct right now, but I see someone trying to use mental health as an excuse, and I don't think it is excusable. And I commend the WBC, and that is, yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that. And say
Okay.
it. I
Uh,
was being good. Now
no,
say
no,
it.
no, Troy, you got something you want to say? You want me to go ahead and go? You want me to go
It's
ahead
all
and
you.
go? Okay. Look.
All right, say it. What you about to say?
No, I'm just I'm not gonna go off the rails. I just it's disappointing because in this year and time, not just boxing, especially in soccer, it's getting real bad in soccer, that we still have people think this way. We still
Yeah.
have people think that it's okay to use these slurs or names or language that came from the time where it meant something when we were slaves, when people of color were slaves. And when you get caught and subjected and verified as now people claim that, like Lady said, I'm going to go get help because this and the other. No, this is ingrained. This is something that was learned. The only thing that he's going to be able to do is try to figure out how to not say it again where people aren't listening.
Oh, we
That's it.
listening now.
Because it's disappointing. It really, really is. It's disappointing that the vitriol being said, how he's saying it, who he's directing toward. It's 2024. Judge someone who they are, not by the color of their skin.
Facts.
And we should not be talking about this. Am I glad they suspended him? Yes. Yes. Because guess what's going to happen if they had not? He's going to show up at another event, boxing. His fans are going to be there. His fans are going to respond off of what he had done. Now, not only you don't have fight in the ring, there are going to be fights outside of the ring, because some people are not going to turn the cheek and walk away when you're saying that to them. They're going to respond.
Hmm.
And,
Yep.
and that's why it has to be said. You know, coming from someone from the South, deep South, 10 minutes from the Florida border, where if you're being called this name actively, it's somebody who's older than me, and that's what they grew up during the time where they could call people who look like me that name without any repercussions whatsoever. There's still parts of Georgia, people who look like me, you cannot go through. That's why this is bigger than just boxing. Him saying it just put itself a spotlight on him in boxing, but boxing did the right thing. But it's bigger than boxing. Now, I had something else I wanted to say, but I'm just going to table that.
All right, Lady A.
I'm proud of you. I do want to point out that in reference to Garcia, there have been some things that he's done in recent times that has been a concern to other people. You guys may remember his suspension for testing positive for a banned substance.
Yep.
Got arrested for vandalism. Like, he's wilding out. Does that necessarily mean that there's a mental health concern? People were saying that, but is it true that it's really a mental health concern, or is that an excuse for, again, like I said, bad behavior? So I do want to shed light on that in general, he has been doing some outrageous things, but
Mhm.
you know, something has to be done about
Yeah.
him in this behavior, because no matter how you look at it, taking banned substances, getting arrested for vandalism. I want to say it was like a hotel room that he trashed. That sounds like poor decisions. That sounds like somebody who wants to be the party guy. That sounds like somebody who doesn't want to follow any type of rule. So I do want to point that out. I'm not completely saying that he does not have a mental health issue. There's no crisis or anything. I'm not saying that, but I see a lot of bad behavior. Um, and his camp, they need to step in.
Got you. Don, did you have anything on this situation?
He got expelled. Does he have to
Yeah.
like get a note from his mommy to
No,
come back
no,
to the?
no, 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 not that. Not that. All right, no, not that. Okay. Judging by the box size right now, it looks like it's time to rep yo squad. This right here is where we give everybody like 3 minutes to bring some news and notes about a squad that we may follow to everybody here. So I'm in the big box, so I think I'm going to kick this off today. All right, the squad that I'm about to rep right now is the Maryland Terrapins. The Maryland Terps. The Maryland Terps are how many days away from college football? Are we saying? Oh, you muted. You muted.
August 24th.
August 24th. Listen, the Terps have been having a really good offseason, a quiet, good offseason. The Big Ten has expanded this year to include a lot of schools out west. The question now is Maryland has been trying to close the gap between them, Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. Now they have other teams to adjust to as well that they're coming in from the Pac-12. I'm really anxious to see what the Terps' offense and defensive line looks like because it was really getting close to looking like a really good Big Ten offense and defensive line. Everything starts up front. If you don't believe me, say it'll tell you later. Everything starts up front. I gotta know what this offensive line and defensive line is going to look like. Is the defensive line going to create havoc? Is the offensive line going to be able to just roll great people to death? I'm excited about what the Terps are building this offseason. I've been checking out some of their news and notes and players that they're excited about, but we're getting really close to college football, and we're not that far away from NCAA 25 coming out. Said I just put it in there. We was like 10 days away the other day when I put it into the chat. We should be like 9 days away. I think it comes out Tuesday. So excited about college football. That's what I'm repping right now. Lady A, you got the big box.
Okay, so a couple things I do want to touch on. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and speak on the Nets. They have been horrible lately.
Right.
But today, they went ahead and beat the St. Louis Cardinals 14-6. So I'm just going to give a shout out to them. That wasn't planned initially. But now let's move on. So I'm going to go on to a young lady that is a second generation athlete. She is here in DC and she plays for the Washington Spirit. Washington Spirit is the women's soccer team here in Washington, D.C. And I'm speaking of the young lady, Trinity Rodman. Trinity Rodman is Dennis Rodman's daughter. She is an amazing young lady. She has been picked up for the roster for the Olympics. So she's doing big things, doing amazing. I want to say last month they went Instagram official NFL receiver Trinity Benson. So Trinity is dating a Trinity. It's kind of weird, but she's doing big things. She's living life. unfortunately, there was some news about her and her relationship with her dad. It's not where it should be. Those things happen, but she can't deny those genes. So kudos to her. Look forward to seeing her in the Olympics. She is a rock star, in case you wondered. Yes, she is. I'm saying it. So look out for Trinity. And then also check her out. You can probably pull up some footage of her if you haven't already seen her. Again, she plays for the Washington Spirits. And that's all I got for my.
That's what you got. All right. Sid, you are in the big box.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Here I am.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
No, just real quick. I'm happy that college football is about to start. I can rep my squad, University of Georgia. We are rebuilding. We have it's been flip season. I didn't get a chance to get my emoji together. It's been flip season, and the guys that are coming in now are saying exactly what the head coach wants to hear. If you're coming to University of Georgia, if you want to start, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to give it your all. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to do this. With that being said, the number one overall rated defensive end decommitted from USC. Justice Terry, he is from Georgia. His homeboy who committed with him to USC decommitted. He turned around and committed to Georgia. So they're building their defensive line. Like Pick said, if you can't run the ball, we leave it to passing. We have the number one overall rated cornerback also committed to University of Georgia. But what people don't understand is these guys understand I have to put in work. No matter what school you go to, you have to put in work. They understand the transfer portal. They understand the NIL. Like the young man said, if I want to get to the league, I'm going to the place that's putting defensive linemen into the league. That's what he said when he decommitted from USC and turned around and committed to Georgia. Yeah, he could have got the money out there. Sometimes it ain't about the money. It ain't about the money. But we have brought in quite a few wide receivers. Carson Beck's projected to be the number one overall pick next year, also predicted to be the Heisman. If he does not get hurt, which he should not, because the offensive line is up for the award this year for the best offensive lineman in college football. So he's going to be protected. So the new college playoff, I know I want to rush the season. I don't want to rush the season.
Don't rush.
I want to, when this playoff kick off, your boy going to have a few days off. I got a lot of sick leave.
Okay. Don, you got a squad you want to rep?
Nope, not at all.
All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna put this out here right now, because I apologize for being in and out. I'm experiencing a family emergency right now. That's pretty much our show for the day. Thanks to Bill for joining us. Thank you, Don, for your question of the month. It's an outstanding question, and thank you to everyone in the chat that has been with us. Really, really do appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining us every Tuesday and Saturday when we hop on here. And without y'all, we wouldn't keep doing it. So we really do appreciate y'all for doing that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell for notifications for new content as well, and always. And don't forget to tell a friend about First String Podcast. Said, did we cover everything?
Yeah.
No, we got one more thing, Pitt.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So just wanted to put it out there that the Vikings community and then, of course, the Washington, D.C. community is experiencing a tragic loss. Minnesota Vikings rookie just got drafted from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Kyrie Jackson, and then two of his former college football teammates passed away in a very tragic car accident. They were hit by a drunk driver. So, prayers go out to his family, his teammates, all of their teammates. This happened just the other day. He was home. He was in the Washington D.C. area. If you're familiar, it was on Pennsylvania Avenue, um, and you know they're going through a lot because obviously this was not something that they could see, and it also is a reminder to those that are out here partying, doing whatever, drinking and driving. Just don't. You know, the young lady who was driving, her and everyone else in her vehicle were fine.
Yep.
And it killed all three young men in this particular vehicle. It was a
24 and under. 24 and under. Hadn't even seen life yet.
Right. So two of them were 24, one was 23. And it's just unfortunate that we still have people out here that are driving drunk. And I imagine that they were just, you know, they were out here having fun. It's a holiday weekend, and you know, 4th of July weekend. You're in the Washington D.C. area. A lot of things going on. They were home, and he was just getting started for his NFL career.
So sad. Thank you, Lady A, for bringing it to us. This is difficult, but shout out to my son, United States Air Force, First String Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell them, say it.
Go Dogs.
Raise hell.
Ready for your beats? My first song from the person.